So in this video, I'm going to share with you all of the typical job duties as a IT support technician or specialist. Same thing. I'm going to explain to you all the typical tasks that you will very much perform. Now, I could speak on this because I work in IT. I work as a specialist, IT specialist, and I'm going to again share with you my, you know, my common task that I see almost every day when I come in for work. So, before we continue on, my name is Oreo the Juice from Juicy Tech YouTube channel. Juicy Tech. Comment, like, and share if you enjoy the content. Be sure to also hit the bell notification to receive alerts once a video is uploaded. Subscribe, all that good stuff. Last but not least, all of my socials are down below. My LinkedIn, IG, everything is in the box below this video, the description box. And last but not least, special thank you and big shout outs to our good friends and supporters at CourseCareers.com. And Course Careers is basically an online training program helping people land jobs in tech. So whether it's engineering, support, management, sales, these tech jobs are paying between $50,000 to six figures plus. If interested on more information about Course Careers to get started, I'll leave the link down below on Course Careers, and you're welcome. So again, in this video, I'm going to disclose the common tasks that I perform or that a typical IT specialist performs on the job. So one of the most common tasks you will see, or problems should I say, is basically resetting passwords. That is a everyday thing, literally. And depending how big the corporation is on the amount of users that you'll be managing or assisting, you'll probably get them, like you'll probably get password reset tickets every hour, on the hour. There's some type of logging issue that person is experiencing, and you as the IT specialist have to assist by finding that person's account information and reset whatever password that they are requesting to have reset. So again, that is a very, very common thing I've been seeing for some years now working in IT, is resetting passwords. It is a very common thing you'll see every single day, I promise you. And it's resetting in different platforms. It could be their Microsoft Outlook, and that does also affect Azure if they're using, OneDrive, if they're using different, technologies or softwares used in 365. You'll be resetting whatever that they use. So if that makes any sense, awesome. But password resets is a very, very common job duty you'll see all the time working in IT, help desk specialist, all that good stuff. So that's one. Another common task you will perform almost every day is onboarding. So again, depending how big the company that you're working for is, they may hire every day, right? They may hire someone every single day, and the onboarding is basically a process of getting that person set up with their account. So their email address, if they're using Excel, Word, if they need to use PowerPoint, you have to set all this stuff for them. You have to set up all of their credentials, their passwords to access the computer. You have to what we do, we download special security softwares to monitor the computer, make sure everything's fine, there's no funny business. So we do use CrowdStrike for that. There's so much that's involved in onboarding. Of course, you have to kind of add a lot of data, the person's correct first and last name. You have to also, if that person works as an engineer, software engineer, you have to put that special coding language that they'll be using. So it could be JavaScript, it could be Python, whatever like whatever is requested by HR, there's usually an email that they send you, and there's a list of all the apps or softwares that's needed to be downloaded on that person's machine. That's your job as the IT person to make sure all of those things are downloaded. They have all their credentials ready to go so they can access the computer or whatever software that they're using. It's a bit of a process. It could take, depending how much stuff is needed to be downloaded, it could take hours, and that's just one computer. So, but luckily we do have a team of people that can also assist taking another ticket of someone that needs to be onboarded. So you're not just slammed with all this work. Again, depending how big the company is that you, and depending how many people are working in your department, IT department, everyone is also assigned to also onboard someone. So you're not doing all the work yourself. I hope that makes sense. So onboarding is a very, very common thing you'll see all the time, working in IT help desk or specialist or technician, all the above. So password resets, onboarding, two very common things you'll see all the time working as the IT person. Another thing you'll see a lot is setting up someone's computer, and that's also a process of onboarding. But sometimes someone just needs a new computer, right? So again, this is also part of onboarding, but maybe that person doesn't know how to set up a computer, meaning they don't know how to. Some people, I've met people that don't know what an HDMI cable is, and it's not to throw shade or to bash people, but I don't expect someone to know this information because you're not working in IT. Maybe you're hired as a salesperson or a customer service or a VP. So you don't really need to worry about this stuff. I mean, you can if you want to, obviously, but I'm not expecting someone to know exactly how to set up a desktop computer, meaning hooking up the monitors to that computer, what cables to use. It could be a display port cable, an HDMI cable. This is something you'll see a lot. You have to go and set up someone's workstation, their mouse, keyboard, of course, access the computer, get them set up with their credentials, like once more to log into the computer so they can start working. So that's a very common thing you'll see a lot, is setting up workstations. That's super, super common. So again, password resets, onboarding, and setting up someone's workstation is a very common thing. Another thing you'll see a lot if you are working with remote workers is VPN issues. Super, super common problem that we're having right now where someone's VPN is not connecting. And again, it could be a remote worker. So your job as an IT person is to basically contact that user via whatever, via chat. Maybe you're using Teams, Microsoft Teams. So you may have to call that person directly and start assisting. So what we do is, this is what most employers do, is have remote access to that person's computer, basically. So once I contact that user, I usually want to access their machine because it's just faster. I see what they're seeing. I know exactly what to do because I see it. I'm in their computer, remote accessing. So I do that every single day. And I'm so grateful that this technology exists, because if it was not something that was possible, I would waste a lot of time trying to understand what this person is seeing and understand how to fix their problem. Because a lot of time when someone's explaining something to you, or to me, I'll just speak for myself. When someone's explaining their problem, I don't really always understand what they're saying. It's not to, again, belittle someone, like they don't know what they're talking about. But if I could just see what you're seeing, I could just easily know what to do, and we can all just move on quickly because I see what the problem is and fix it immediately without me having to hear you explain what you're seeing. They don't know what they're seeing. Sometimes they don't know what a firewall pop-up window is. They don't know. It's just a list of things some people just don't understand, and they don't have to, because again, they don't work in IT. That's my job to see what you're doing and fix it, right? Any IT related issues. So yeah, VPN issues is a very common thing. Sometimes I have to reinstall or modify the application to fix that VPN so they can get back to connecting to our network and begin working. So very common problem. If your company is using Salesforce, a lot of Salesforce problems. Sometimes people need their password resets. That's a very common thing with Salesforce password resets. Super, super common. We also use Five9 as well as their virtual dialer, and sometimes that has issues. So I guess what I'm trying to say is VPN issue is a very common thing you'll see a lot. I guess I can tie all that into logging issues. That's something you'll see a lot. And so maybe that's the first one with password resets is logging in. Sometimes people are just don't know what they're doing, or they forgot, or I don't know. So they need access to that, whatever they're using, and it's always a logging issue. So that's another common thing you'll see very, very, very much. People have trouble logging into whatever they need to log into. So hope that makes sense. Another thing I see a lot in terms of my day-to-day is managing tickets. That is really the number one thing you'll see or you'll be performing every day. Managing tickets. What ticket is the most urgent and what is not. Yeah, that's something you'll see. I mean, that's how we're able to know what to do, meaning how to start assisting someone's problem, if it's something urgent or not. A lot of time it's a VP person needs access to audio, and they're having a meeting and they need to hear the person talk. So that's something you'll see a lot. Basically those tickets, when they come in from a VP or a exec, stop what you're doing, drop everything, and go help that person immediately. Like VPs, execs get first dibs. Also salespeople, because they're the ones selling stuff. They're talking to the customer. They're the first line of defense, basically. So if they're down, stop what you're doing, and go fix that salesperson's issue now, because we need to make money. Calls got to keep coming in, and we need people to take those phone calls and sell things. So that's a very, very important thing. Again, just managing the tickets to just determine which ticket should get first dibs or not, if that makes any sense. So managing tickets, very, very common thing you'll see a lot. I'll say one more thing and then I'll leave. Another common thing you'll see very much is offboarding, termination. So that is the opposite of onboarding, basically. Offboarding. Completely disable every account that person has access to. Deactivate anything that person has access to. Something with their finances, email, everything has to be disabled, deactivated, revoked, just clean, done. So that means their computer has to get wiped clean as well, and we do that a lot. So we restart that computer fresh, get all the accounts out, and have that computer ready for someone else to use. So that's something we do a lot as well. I will say one more, but I don't want to waste the time. I guess I'll do it for another time. And that's basically, I'll just say, if you work with remote workers, we do ship products or components to that remote worker. So again, they work remotely, they need equipment to start working. So we do send out monitors, keyboards, mouse, of course the computer or laptop to that remote worker. And we do that all the time, sending equipment to our employees. So that's something you'll do a lot, depending how big the corporation that you're working for is. So hope that makes sense. There's a lot more, but I don't want to keep you here all day, but I think those are enough information to kind of help understand what you'll be doing as your day-to-day. If anything, you'll be managing the tickets and trying to figure out what is a high priority and what is not. So that's the first thing you'll be doing, is managing the tickets as they come. So much love to you. Hope this makes sense. Get out to work, and it's always a pleasure conversing with you. Peace out.